Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Automation Hub Sathak, and in this video I'll teach you about nested for loop. So let's begin without any further delay. So this is the Learning Java project which we have created, and I have created a loops package and I'm going to make a new class in the same. So we'll just go as fast as possible. We'll go for nested for loop. Okay, so let's begin our code. Okay, so the first and foremost thing which we need to understand is what is a nested for loop. What does this mean? This means that for loop inside a for loop. Okay, for loop inside a for loop is called nested for loop. Okay, so how do these two different for loops get executed? What is the sequence of execution? So the inner loop executes completely with one execution of the outer loop. So it's very simple to understand this. Let's go ahead and start coding, so that will become very easy then. So let's say, for example, I'm initializing a variable int I is equal to 1, int I is less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Okay, this is the outer loop. Okay, so I'll go inside the body of the outer loop, and 1 2 3. Okay, I need one more. Okay, so here I'll make the body of the inner loop for int j equals to 1, j less than equals to 5, j plus plus. So if we just write the for loops, whether this is the outer loop and this is the inner loop, we need certain print statement, we need certain code logic to execute and show what we are doing. So what I'll do is I'll just print something, and what I'll do is I'll print what is the value of I with respect to j. So what I'll do is first I'll concatenate the value of I, okay, and then I'll concatenate with the value of j. It's like I'm just designing something, it's nothing to be worried about. So, and now I'll concatenate the value of j. It's very simple. You can write anything you want here, and then once you are done with this, so what you do, this is the inner loop body which you have just made the statement. So what about the outer loop? The outer loop also needs execution. So this area is in the body of the outer loop. Even outside the loop you can write, but I'm gonna write here. It's I'll just say key for okay, for repetition of I. Okay, and I'll just print the value of I, and that's it. So let me run this loop. See, so for repetition of 1, when the value of outer loop is 1, the value of inner loop executes the 5 different times. It executes the whole loop, and then for the iteration 2, for the value of 2, again the inner loop executes all the amount of times. So this is what the concept of nested loop is. The inner loop executes completely with one execution of the outer loop, and this is how these things work. So let's go ahead and learn a little bit more concept about how these things actually come into picture. So if you remember, in schools and colleges when we were studying as students, we used to write a certain pattern programming. Like, let's say for example, I'll give you something like this: 1 1 1 1 space 1 space 1 1 space 1 space 1 space 1 space 1 1 space 1 space 1 space 1 space 1 space 1. So you must remember something like this. Okay, so can we code and actually write this particular program? Yes, we can. So this is nothing but kind of a pattern. So let's go ahead and write this as a pattern. So we'll create another class. Okay, and we'll write a simple pattern program, and it's very simple. It uses the concept of nested for loop, and I'll show you how. Okay, so let's begin directly with the code. We'll start making the for loop. For int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus, and then we will make the inner loop for int j equals to 1, j is less than equals to I. Here it will not be 5 because I needs to get repeated, because I will start with 1 and we need the output all to be in the forms of 1. We do not need it in the forms of 1 2 3 4 5. So that means we have to reiterate I in each and every sequence. So that is why we will evaluate the value of j with respect to I. We'll just give them an iterative statement, but the condition will always be applicable to the output 1, because this is the output which we need. Okay, so here j plus plus. Okay, cool. Now let us go ahead and print inside the body of the inner loop. So what do you want inside the body of the inner loop? I want the value of 1 to be printed, and I need to give a space. But the question here is, we need to give it system.out.print. Why? I'll let you know. And of course this is just going to be just a print statement. So you got the answer here. Okay, so I had given how many ones? 3 6. Okay, just go ahead and make this 6. Save it, run this. You got the answer here. It's actually very simple. For each execution of the outer loop, the inner loop gets executed the similar number of times. See, int I equals to 1, so I becomes 1. Then int I equals to iterates itself to 2, so I becomes 1 and 2. I becomes iterates itself to 3, so j becomes 1 2 and 3. But here I'm using only 1 because I've asked it to print 1 and I've given a space. If I remove the space, then they will all be, just like, not getting any space from each other, and it will just be that look like 111 111 and all that. So this is how the loop actually executes. It is very simple and it is not at all complicated. Please try this code. And now I'm going to show you another pattern programming which is quite similar like this, but instead what will happen is this is what is going to happen here. 1 1 1 1. Okay, am I doing it correct? Yes, I am. So we are just making an arrow. So it's a right arrow. So can we go ahead and do this? Yes, we can. So let's make another program. Okay, so right click, new class, pattern programming is something like right arrow. Okay, it's very simple, nothing to worry. I'm writing the code with you so you'll understand it thoroughly. Please practice for loop with proper precision, otherwise you will get stuck at some point of time. So please, let's go ahead. Okay, let's begin this program. For int I equals to 1. Okay, I less than equals to, let's go ahead with 5 only, don't want to make it too big. I plus plus. Okay, then we'll begin the inner loop for int j equals to 1, j is less than equals to I. Okay, j plus plus. Okay, so we'll begin the body of the inner for loop. So we want uh, 1 to be printed with space, and of course we will not give this. Okay, and here we will print the value. Typically we'll just have to, we want everything to come in different line, so this is how it will remain. Now we have done with the right arrow up, so if you come till here you'll get this sort of output. Now we have to make the other half of the arrow, which is the down part of it. So what I can do is I can make a for loop here as well, but again that will give me I, J, K, and then we'll have to make L and M kind of for loops. So what I'll do is, instead of making another for loop, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and declare something like int. I'll give the downstairs value to be like let's say downstairs equals to 5. Okay, and we'll begin for int k equals to, what do you think you should start with? Should we go with uh, you just have a look, just have a look what the concept here says. So it will be k less than equals to, I'll go with downstairs. Okay, k plus plus, and then when I begin the inner for loop, this is where the real concept of for loop comes into picture. This thing will begin with downstairs. Okay, because we are going down, we are decreasing the value, and L will be greater than K. Okay, here it will be L minus minus because we are going downstairs. Okay, the value, and as usual we will just make it like this. Here just a print statement so that it gets printed. Okay guys, you got the output. I hope you understood the concept. If you did not, please let me know, I'll explain it thoroughly. Okay, so this is mostly about nested for loop. It's very simple. Please practice the programs which I've taught you, and you can go ahead and do one kind of a homework here. Like you can make a right arrow key here, or you can start making a left arrow key here, and this figure will look something like this. I don't want to do this right now. It's just like you are switching places, like you move this thing to 1 here, and okay, the designing will take a little bit of time, so something like this you can go ahead and do. So I'll leave that to you. Okay, so something like this you can go ahead and do it. You just take a mirror image of the left side and put it on the right side and try to run this program. Please let me know if you have any doubts. I'll definitely send you the code. And thank you so much for watching the video, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Sarthak here, signing off. Thank you so much.